For Father's Day, the Daily Item spoke with 4 generations of men in 3 different families to get their opinions on their fathers and parenthood.
They had to toe the line. As far as that goes, they didn't listen, they were called by the first name, and then if they didn't listen, then they got the full name called. Then they knew they had to listen. So, it's none of this, I'll count to 3. It wasn't that when I was raising them.
That's how you were raised, probably.
Yep, there was no counting. We knew how to count. They didn't have to count to us.
There was none of this, I'm going to count to 3. There was none of that.
My parents were staunch.
Yeah.
And in my house,
It was kind of like his type of freedom that you could go out and do whatever. I mean, he was the provider still. He worked down in Harrisburg and was gone and came home and usually was tired.
Yeah.
My mom, she was more the strict type that kept us in line.
Yep, she was the enforcer.
The enforcer, and he was the good cop. As long as we were in by dark, everything was good. But
actually the harshest treatment I could give my children was to just say I'm disappointed. That seemed to work for the most part.
If I do bad in school, I get a lot of the stuff taken away. If I do good, I don't get it taken away.
We had the same attitude. You know, I let them go, you know. Just don't get in trouble, you know. And let us know where you are, you know. Be safe.
It's not old enough where you can really recommend them. But when he gets to that point, it's not going to be the end of the world, but I think I'm going to take a lot of what I went through as a child and put that into my parenting skills because it worked out well for him. And I look at myself and I want to be able to hold high respect and hold good behavior in my son as he did.
In raising them.
That seems to be how things are these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of the different things that they do now compared to when we were raised and that, as far as that goes.
Today's, well, his generation, we played outside all the time, you know, all day on riding bikes and all that, you know, and playing wiffle ball. You know, his generation of kids, they like to stay in the house and play video games. They didn't go outside as much, so.
And I'm seeing in my son's parenting skills kind of a more lenient approach than even I had.
He may be, he's probably about the same as me, I would say.
In what ways?
He likes to, you know, he's very affectionate and, you know, wants to teach him to do the right things. And, you know, he's, I don't know, it just seems like he's, you know, he's real concerned about him. As I was concerned about my kids, you know, that was my main concern.
Okay.
We were always going every week, and they didn't have a lot of money to do it with, but we found cheap ways to do a family get-together, whether it was a picnic at Halfway Down, whether it was, you know, we had a little camper and we would go camping somewhere. I wish I would have done that with my children more. And that's one thing I wished I would have been able to do more of. Again, I was on the road 7 days out of 7.
yeah, get to unwind, get to spend some time, take them to places. We were just down in Baltimore at the aquarium. So you like fish, don't you?
Yeah, we eat fish.
He teaches me, like, he practices pitching with me and stuff, but the main thing he does with me is, when we have free time, of course, play video games, and I love it, but
when my dad worked, well, it was hard for him to spend time with me. You know, but when he had free time, we were mostly together. You know, on weekends, we took him to soccer games, or I went with him to his friend's garage
No, because well, when I was working, most of the time I work at nighttime. So when the kids went to school and that there, by the time they got out of school and that there, I was about ready to go back to work.
I only ever tried to teach like 3 rules, so I'm kind of curious if Nathan would remember them.
Go ahead.
And I only ever really said three rules in general. One was about talking about people.
If you don't have, if you can't say it in front of them, don't say it at all.
Yes, that was like rule number 1. Now my dad's, and here's a rule that kind of, my dad said if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that before, yeah.
So, oh, that's my eyeball. So I really wanted to teach Nathan, and it's, I hope that he follows through with that.
Well, I try to raise my kids exactly the same way, to give them teach them to stand on their own 2 feet and that there.
I try to teach him the same things I was taught.
What are some of those things?
You know, work hard, do your job, you know, try to put forth your best effort as much as possible.
He teaches me, you know, logic, common sense, hard work, and
Go to work every day. You know, that's what I remember every morning, him leaving for work.
To be patient. That's one thing. And to the drive and wanting to be successful. I think he really just instilled that if you're out of school, you know, you need to go to work, get a job.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was even when I was single, just making sure that.
And one of the biggest things is, you know, growing up, you know, respect and stuff like that. That's one thing that was always input in my life, and that's one thing that pays off, because as a person and as a father, you know, personally to me, it makes you look a lot better. It makes them look better, and that's one thing that they always held high on their head was respect.